So it wasn't even that Bill set out to create a genre called bluegrass. He had a style. And again, I think it's just defined by the crowd. I'll pass this over to Alex. You have 2 minutes.
Next question.
Strolling in the land of the free. Give away, hypocrisy is getting the best of me. Get away, you're on your own. Stay inside your home.
Welcome back to Wilson Orchard Barn Sessions. Welcome back to Wilson Orchard's Barn Sessions. Tonight we're discussing how to properly drink a can with a mask. Our guests tonight are Mike Bray, who proposes that drinking from above the mask and pouring down is the superior method. We have distinguished guest Max Lipnick from Oxford University. He just advises not drinking. And we have Alex Fletcher, who advises drinking through the mask. Tonight, I, Blake Daly, will be taking the under the mask approach.
Think about yourself. Don't worry about anybody else. You should be at home.
The band originally developed as like a kind of a busking project, so just something to play out on the street, and it developed with a completely different group of guys. We were playing completely different music, and kind of as we reacted to the audience and what people wanted, discovered that kind of bluegrass had a calling, or was calling us, I guess. And so I started that project in like 2012. And a few years later, I had known Alex previously as a fingerstyle guitar player, and I thought that would work great for banjo. I don't think he started playing banjo because of my recommendation, but yeah, I know. He started because of Bob Black, but that's his story. I got back to Iowa and I said, "Hey, Alex, let's get the band going. Why don't you come and play with us?" And about a month later, Max sent us a message saying, "Hey, I have a mandolin. I want to play in a grass band." And we went on like 4 years that way with different bass player, Lee Eccles. And then in 2019, basically January-ish 2019, Mike Bray came on to play bass for us. And so we've been going, I guess, pushing that name uphill like a hillbilly Sisyphus for about 8 years.
It's been really fun, just delving into bluegrass, but also trying to do our own thing.
Riding out from Reno, I was trailed by 20 hounds. Didn't get to sleep last night till the morning came around.
Bluegrass is kind of a protected thing. Not to get too anthropological about it, but it, as a cultural folk art form, it kind of exists in this weird static realm where there's a lot of people who observe kind of the right way to do bluegrass, but it is really all defined by what the audience thinks is bluegrass, like what people call bluegrass. And so you can bend the rules and people might still say that's bluegrass, but like a bluegrass purist will tell you otherwise, and they'll say, no, that's the saying is that ain't no part of bluegrass.
I like to say we're an acoustic band. We
band.
play some bluegrass or grass, we play some jam grass, we play some country, we do some classic rock acoustically. And personally, as the last member of the band, that's one thing that really attracted me to these guys. It was like, you can be switching styles as you play, or song to song, or even mid-song. So yeah, I would say that, bluegrass is kind of a narrow scope, and even a true bluegrass band would say we're not bluegrass, and they're right. But that's one reason I like these guys so much, is because you can't narrowly define them.
So in short, we love to play bluegrass. A lot of people would probably identify it as bluegrass, but like bluegrass purists would say that's not bluegrass. And so,
Bluegrass itself came from a lot of different traditions.
Exactly.
However,
so every time someone asks us that question, we get into a 30-minute debate.
As you can see, we have bluegrass musicians at the table not agreeing on exactly what bluegrass
All right,
is.
no one's gonna correct Mike. No one's gonna correct him.
Little wheels and the great big wheels turn all night long.
I think what I like the most about this band is that all four of us write songs, and we always bring something to the table, usually that we have written separately on guitar, and then show it to the band, and we try to piece it together in a way that matches the tempo and the feel of whatever the song is, and then put harmonies on it wherever it feels appropriate, and just kind of take whatever comes for that particular songwriter and make it our own thing. Like, it's it's like non-judgmental and like all-inclusive, and it's always like saying, all right, you got this, then this is what I got for that, let's add to it and let's make it our own thing. And it's honestly sort of the same way when we do a cover, I guess, because somebody comes with a cover and says, I like this song, what can we do with it? Or like Blake or Max would be like, well, can you play the Layla solo on banjo or something?
Yeah.
You know? And then we make things happen that way too. So it's kind of the same, really. When a cover versus an original.
When I come across a cover, I think that it would sound cool if we did it. I typically am picking out instruments and trying to change, in my mind, changing the part that they're playing to a mandolin or a fiddle or a banjo, so that I can kind of like, oh, if we just assign the mandolin to learn these synth parts, then we're halfway through learning the cars, you know, or something like that. If we can just get those things to hook, and really you can, in some instances, do like a direct, that's the laziest thing you can do, is a direct transfer, but that is a big influence, is like just pick out an instrument and then that we don't have and transfer that to an instrument that we do have. And that's the easiest way to like create an interesting sound that's familiar, but it's also gives you a bit of a new experience.
And learning covers, I think, you kind of deconstruct music, and when you're learning covers, that always, for me, learning a lot of new songs by other people inspires new songs in myself too. Because you're kind of studying music that way. It inspires you to write music.
Her hair shone like gold in the hot morning sun.
Iowa is so many like hidden gem venues. Like people nationally maybe don't know about like Codfish Hollow, but I think that's actually such a cool spot for people to go and see music, and they bring in great acts. There's just so many cool barns that were turned into venues. East Grove Farms down in New Salem, they've got like a music venue built in. Flat Black Studios is in a barn. It's where we recorded both of our albums down in West
Lone Tree.
Lone Tree, yeah. But yeah, that's also a barn. How many other barns have we played? Ballpark it.
I can't even.
Farmyard.
Too many to even count.
Barns.
Could you be loved? Be loved.
All right, so back to our discussion. Mike is now going to demonstrate the top-down drink. Give it a shot. Let's go.
Oh, I don't want to spill beer all over my shirt.
We're burning precious film here.
They will rearrange you. Oh no. All right. We've got a mind of our own.